What's up, YouTube? Southern Comic Geek coming to you with a massive unboxing that has been a long time coming. I'll update you and tell you where this come from if you're not familiar with this order that took forever. It is finally in. I'm going to show you the good, the bad, and the ugly. If you want to see what I picked up, stay tuned for the video. Now, before we get into all of this comic book goodness, go ahead and smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm. Hit the subscribe button as well as the bell notification. So when videos like this one drop ever so randomly, you are one of the first people to know and can make the conscious decision as to whether or not to watch an hour later. As long as you watch it, we appreciate you. Talking about people we appreciate, how about the list of channel members, people that are supporting the channel through their monthly membership or ships. And if you are interested in joining that elite group, then you can hit the Linktree link in the description below. Now, there are many membership benefits, and not the least of which are our monthly giveaways. And so this month, the second channel exclusive, which is Lunation #1, there's going to be a regular, a gold, and a foil that's going to be given away to one lucky person that's either a member, because you get 10 entries per membership, or if you do a super chat or a tip or love, it shows a little love sign down here somewhere. And if you do that, for every $1 of that, you get an entry to win. Now, it's always a good time to save money. How about saving some money on those precious supplies? You can go to bcwsupplies.com, use the coupon code SCG to save yourself 10% on your order. Now, this is the order that I submitted, or that rather CBCS received 11 months ago. That's right, 11 months ago. I mentioned it during the Dallas Fan Expo recap on my channel not too long ago, how I talked with the people at CBCS and said, hey, look, I understand things take longer. That is not really the biggest issue here. The biggest issue is the fact that you don't follow up with anything that you do. Daryl, I'll call his name again, who is the sales rep for my area, will email you, but then never bothers to call you. So CBCS, you have, from the course of this experience, have very much decreased in my sight. Because if I'm going to pay more, because both of y'all have gone up now, if I'm going to pay more, I might as well just get a CGC case. Because at least when I get a problem with CGC, I can call them. So yeah, this was a big order. I had sent it off to the presser in May of last year. He was backed up, and so it was a while. It was not till July or end of June that he got it and then mailed it off. And so I got the confirmation when they actually received it. They didn't check it in until sometime in October. And here we are today receiving this. It is a big one. I will admit in transparency that I have seen the grades. I have not actually viewed the books to know whether or not they made any errors, or if we got some trash in the books, or the cases are cracked or anything like that. I do know that there was one that was rejected on a signature. And so, and there were a lot of letdowns, I will tell you that. So let's get started here. The one that was rejected is this one right here, which is Detective Comics 475. I purchased this book off of Instagram, and according to the person that sold it, he bought it from a lady whose husband had passed away and was a big Adam West fan. And according to her, Adam West had signed that. Now, you could see Adam West right here. Now, like, especially, I guess, if you're looking for it. This right here looks to be like it says Robin, but I didn't really understand that. But I never gotten this back, and maybe for those of you who have, you know, put it down in the description of this video, but it said did not pass. Do I get a refund for that? Because I paid for signature authentication and encapsulation. I had marked it. If it didn't pass, don't encapsulate it. So, I mean, they did that right. But I was just wondering, should I be getting a refund of some kind? Let me know if you know in the description below. And so I guess that one's on me. That's the risk you take. I'm not really familiar with the Instagram seller. As a matter of fact, I'd have to scratch the rust off my brain to try to remember who it was even to know whether or not to contact them and say, because now the rest of the signature verifications, and I believe if I'm correct, all the signature verifications I've ever seen, like, or done, sent in rather, after the fact, that's all I've ever done is ones that I personally had seen. So I, of course, knew they were legit and they've been authenticated. That's the first one I've ever had that was not. Now, a while back, I had sold off all of my Star Wars Volume 1, like the OG Marvel run, and worked out pretty good. I was able to complete that run, and then after I got it completed, I said, well, what do I want to do? So I ended up actually selling the whole lot, minus a few books. This is one of them. This one was just so clean when I bought it. Actually, I sold this one. This was another copy that I bought. And so this is the first appearance of Valance, which is the bounty hunter who is in the current Bounty Hunters run with Marvel. Jackson, Fox Train, Star Killer Kid, and appearance. Cover art by Walt Simonson, art by Bob Wychak, and Archie Goodwin's story. So this is this. Now, something I want to point out, because I do notice this about some of these labels, that it does point out that it's a newsstand edition, which it is. So just keep that in mind. This is from the 1978. So the fact that it's a newsstand edition doesn't surprise anybody. It kills me every time you hear these auctions or whatever, and people say, it's a newsstand. Well, yes, Captain Obvious, it is. But just about everything was at that point, if not everything. So now this was one I had sold off my original copy, and I had picked this one up. Trying to remember if I picked it up off of IG or if I had picked it up off of YouTube. But I knew it was a lower grade. I didn't know it was this lower of a grade because, quite frankly, I would not have sent it off had I known it was this low of a grade. The fact that it's been a year since these books have left my presence, it's hard for me to remember if this crease or that crease is on there. So this is Star Wars 42. This is the first Boba Fett cover. First appearance of Boba Fett in comics, and it is a 3/5. So this is white pages, if that means anything. The boy who had 7. But it is white pages for whatever that's worth. But it is a 3/5. I was really hoping for like a mid-grade, like a 5, maybe 5/5 at best. Now, one of the other bad things about a book taking so long is that pressing starts to lose its effect, and the books are sitting in some hot warehouse. They're losing their effect, and so you kind of wonder like how much of the effect was gone. Had they gotten to them when they should have, would they have been a better grade? It's like, how many licks does it take to get to the Tootsie Roll center of a Tootsie Pop? The world may never know, but it's things you make you go, Okay, so I bought this book. I had given away a 9/4 copy, direct copy of New Mutants 98, which is the first appearance of several people, not the least of which is Deadpool. And I have a complete run of Volume 1 of New Mutants. And so I wanted to get another copy because I was giving that one away for a channel giveaway many moons ago. And so I happened to look up and found a newsstand copy in Memphis at 901, is it 901 Comics there in Memphis, Tennessee. And I really thought that this was a really decent copy, like more along the lines of maybe an 8.0 copy. And comes back 6.0. Ugh. 6.0 off white to white pages. Now, even on this one, which this is from 91, so newsstands are getting a little rarer, and I'll mention that. Mention this again. There's a reason why I'm saying this. So it does mention that on the case, but this is a newsstand. And what makes me wonder about the stuff that the books that because some of these stuff it just looks like it's pressable, and the guy that I had press these has in the past done a really good job. I don't know if him being busy he was slacking, or do I blame it on the fact that they stood in a warehouse for a year. I don't know. Because after for those of you who don't remember the conversation, after I talked with the gentleman at Dallas Fan Expo, that afternoon they were moved to encapsulation. A few days later, they were moved to shipping. So, wow, been sitting there. Here's another one that hurt my feelings, something kind of fierce. This is Magnus the Robot Fighter, #1. This is OG. Gold key, Magnus the Robot Fighter, painted cover, has the same cover on the back here. But Magnus the Robot Fighter, I bought this book raw off of eBay and really thought this was a solid mid-grade copy. However, 3.5. Yuck. So finally back in my presence. So I bought this one raw. So I have the Solar, the Turok, and the Magnus, the 3 properties that Gold Key had licensed out to Valiant back in the day. And so this is the only one I bought raw. The rest of them I bought already graded. So anyway, now I mentioned the fact that of the newsstands. This is Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic from the Dark Horse days. This is issue number 7. Now, what's interesting about this is that it is a newsstand. For those of you who know, it will say Star Wars down here. It won't say direct. And they didn't put it on the thing. This is a newsstand from 2006. Newsstands were far more rare. And as a matter of fact, I went back to the invoice just to say, well, did I forget to put it on there? No, I put it on the invoice. So where it says variant, you can put in what the variant is. And I put on there, newsstand edition. So since it took so long for them to actually get my books back to me, what do y'all think? Would you complain and call? Well, if you could get anybody on the phone, would you turn around and go back and say, hey, look, after you done took all this time, the least you could have done was actually do them right? When I listed it as a newsstand for you to specifically say, because I don't have any plans to sell this. However, just about anything I got is for sale ultimately. So, I'm like, really? Because then, and I guess if I was really selling it to another collector, I mean, I could say, it doesn't say it on the label, but there it says it right there. Yeah, but it's come back as a 9.2. So I was actually pleasantly surprised by that grade. I was not hoping, or I was obviously hoping for a 9.8, right? But no, I was not expecting a 9.2 white pager. Because I bought that book raw, and I was really expecting more like an 8.0, 8.5. So whatever little dents and such, the presser either got out or they weren't not as bad as what I thought they might be. So you win some, you lose some, right? And with that one, I actually won. Now, another interesting little tidbit about that, I'm trying to pull it up on my phone here because it seems like this is the first full and cover appearance of Roland Dyer. And that's not even mentioned on the thing. It's not even mentioned on the label. So, I don't know. All right, Star Wars 68, The Origin of the Mandalore. Everybody thinks Boba Fett when they see this. I bought this book. I bought this book at Pensacon last year, raw, and it is a newsstand, which they mentioned. But it came back a 4 or 5. So I was really hoping for like a 5.5. And again, it's like the other Star Wars. I'm like, some of these creases in here just really look like they're pressable defects. And again, I don't know if my presser didn't do the job that he used to do, or the stuff wore out. Now, these this is a Star Wars Legacy number 26. It too is a newsstand. However, it too was slighted and not told that it was a newsstand. This is issue 26 from July of 2008. So newsstands are getting even more rare. So I would have bought this off of a Barnes & Noble because I bought these off the rack. So I would have bought it at a Barnes & Noble at this point. And so I thought that was interesting that you put newsstand on stuff where it really doesn't even matter that it's a newsstand, but on stuff where, you know, that's definitely something that's worth mentioning on this one. Plus, it's the first appearance of Darth Sion. So you have a first appearance, a newsstand, and then they don't bother to put it on. Again, I put newsstand on the deal. So 8.5 white pager, I was kind of pleased with because this is the one, again, I picked up off the newsstand. I read it and put it back in a box, and it stayed in the same board and bag from 2008 till now. So, so it's just interesting that it says include science fiction book club insert. Who cares? Who gives a rat's behind? When you didn't even mention the fact that it's the first appearance of Darth Sion or a newsstand. So, again, if you would try to get them on the phone to actually bother to send your books back, or would you just throw your hands up in despair, which is kind of what I think that they would rather you do. All right, so Star Wars Legacy number 2. This is a third printing, and this is an Adam Hughes cover, so that's pretty dope. And yeah, Past the Night of the Future in Question. So this is a third printing. I bought this from a comic shop that's no longer in business, not too far from me, and it came back in 92 white pagers. So pretty dope. And, you know, because when you read a comic, there's just certain wear and tear that's going to happen. And then it sat in from 06 until last year. It was sat in the same board and bag. So I was okay with that one. All right, Star Wars Legacy number 16. So I had sent off several of these Star Wars Legacies. I bought most of these, or I bought all these when they first came out. And this is the Legacy of Obi-Wan. This is the first appearance of Darth Strife. Again, nothing. Which really is lame. And it is comes back at an 8.5. So I really would have wished for at least a 9.0 on it, but you know, the fact that they didn't bother to put the first appearances on there, that was kind of what perturbed me on that one. All right, so we've got our Star Wars Age of the Republic General Grievous, and this is Matthew Wood, who is the voice of General Grievous. he actually done an intro for me when I got him to sign this. I typically don't get like voice actors to sign comics, but this was the photo version from the movie. And so it says, Crossdale. And he lists Matthew Wood, voice of General Grievous. And it was just kind of a well-placed signature right there. So I got this one out of a Walmart pack. Sometimes Walmart packs are hit and miss, kind of like the newsstands of old. It's a movie retailer incentive. It does say verified signature because I bought it. I got it and got it signed at Pensacon, but then didn't send it in until later. But it came back a 9.0 white pager. So I really would have wished for a higher grade on this one, seeing that it is a newer book. Not sure what was it that just dinged it so terribly to mark a very modern book like that. One good thing about CBCS is that they don't hold their graders' notes hostage, so that's definitely good. So signature verified, few spine stresses, when small impact creases in the top front cover, breaks color. Oh yeah, I see them now. I see that. And then it says small rubbing wear on back cover. Maybe around that staple. Maybe that's what they're talking about. Customer service, aside, I really like CGC's or CBCS's rather cases better than I do CGC's. I think they're firmer. You don't have the Newton ring issue. Man, it's just that, and then the whole grader's notes are easily accessible. All right, let's see what we got here. All right, so now this is a big book. I bought this book raw from a guy. I didn't realize it at the time. I just knew he was selling some books, but he's actually not. Oh, crap. Well, I guess now I'm going to be sending some of these other books back because this one is crap. Right there. That's so frustrating. I don't see how this wasn't cracked. I mean, I don't see how this could have been a deal like in shipping, because of this book was just like in the middle. They packaged it well and it was in the middle of all these. So I don't see how it could have been. So of course they would mess up the one of the bigger books in this lot. So this is Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, first appearance of Darth Revan, 8.5 white pager. So I was actually happy with the grade on this. Again, I bought this book. If I was planning on selling it, it would have been nice to have had it about a year ago, or 6 months ago. But I bought this book from a guy who, his car needed, knew something. And so I think I paid $100 for it. So definitely, I came out okay on this one. Came out okay on that one. So other than the case is crap. So now that's going to add more drama to this whole deal. I knew I should have known it was too easy to be over with. So so now it's got to go back to them. How long is it going to take for them to reslab it? And since I'm going to be sending this one back, I'm going to be sending the other ones back. I was kind of wondering whether or not it landed on that side. Landed on that side right there. So with where it was at, there's no way that didn't happen prior to them getting it. or prior to them packaging it up. Oh, another one. Oh, great. So great, another one. So Star Wars Legacy #3. This is the second printing. Back when I picked these up at the comic shop, I did not realize that they were second printings. I guess I got late to the Star Wars Legacy game because I remember like the first 9 or 10 issues I bought all at one time. It did come back a 9.4 white pager. Like I stated with the other ones, it was red, stuck in the same bag and board for almost 20 years, or no, not 20 years, 15 years. So, you know, the fact that it got that, I'm okay with. I mean, obviously we would all like 9.8. Well, as I am looking at this, I'm wondering something different. So, because this one's cracked too. So this is Star Wars Legacy 29. This is a newsstand, another newsstand that they didn't bother to put the name on. So this is came back as a 9.2 white pager. So pretty dope cover, and I think there's a some kind of key to this, and they didn't bother to put that on there either. First appearance of Darth Reeve. So another first appearance. Hey, let's not worry about putting it on there. Let's not worry about putting a newsstand on there, and let's crack the case. So the cases are all cracked right there in the same spot. Great, just great. So this one is not cracked. All right, so Star Wars Legacy 27, another newsstand. And mostly I got these graded because, one, Star Wars books were just getting so hot. And I got this graded because not only was it a first appearance of Darth and Dude, it is also a newsstand. Neither of which are mentioned right here, but it did come back as a 9.0 white pager. Again, I would have rathered a higher grade than a 9.0, but I can kind of see that. You know, make sure I'm checking all these cases. All right, so I bought this book raw right here, and then promptly got it signed by Peter David. This is the first appearance of the Thunderbolts, and it did come back as a 9.2 white pager. I'm okay with that. Wasn't expecting much difference from that, and I can see a little color rub on the back, and definitely that black thing showing those spine ticks. But cool book. Got it signed myself at Pensacon from him. Then we got classic right here, Incredible Hulk 340, but it only came back a 7.5 white pager. Ugh. They did verify the signature, of course. I got it signed by Peter David. And it is a newsstand, and they didn't at least mention that. Of course, this is in 1988. Still a lot of newsstands. Let's see here. Okay, so this is a classic book. That's a classic for more modern people. This is Dark Hawk #1. I had a newsstand version of this and a direct version of this. The direct and the newsy looked about the same, except for the newsy, you could kind of see some yellowing, tanning right here. And I didn't know how bad they would ding me for that. So I sent this one in. It came back a 9.2. So, okay. I have since bought another newsstand that is actually a Mark Jewelers. It is a lower grade Mark Jewelers. It's like an 8.5 maybe. So I've since bought another one, so I'm probably going to offload that one. So talking about one of the other bad things about a book staying away too long, you lose an opportunity to sell, and that's just like this book right here, Werewolf by Night 33, second appearance of Moon Knight. This would have been great to have gotten prior to Moon Knight being released. I know that at least number 32, because I've noticed it, and I see it quite more often than I do this one. I bought this one off of IG, and the raw, obviously, and the person selling it said it's about a 5.0. So when it comes back a 6.0 white pager, you can't get too mad about that. So, and probably because you can see the spine ticks right here, all down the side here. It is an older book, so they're probably cutting it a little more slack than they do the modern ones for the same deal. But yeah, 6.0 white pager. So actually, I think that was the grade my Werewolf by Night 32 was. I've since sold it. But now this is probably the one, if I'm just talking about grade-wise, hurt me the worst. I bought this book, and this is probably the one I paid way too much for. I bought it off a YouTube sale, and the book looks super clean. And it does look super clean on the front. I'm surprised it didn't get a check mark because it presents way better than the 5.0. It had a stain on the back right here. And so I saw that. I was like, yeah, but I don't know. But the thing that's really hitting it now, and I don't remember all that foxing on the back. So did I miss it? Did the presser not dry it? I didn't sweat while it was sitting there in the warehouse in CBCS. I don't know. Well, that is it. That's enough. Certainly when most of them are going to be going right back to CBCS. So that's fantastic. Fan-freaking-tastic. I had some same, the labels reversed CGC one time, and I also had the a hair in there in one of my cases with CGC. But with the thing with CGC again is I could pick up the phone and call them, say, hey, here's the problem. All right, send me a picture of it. How am I gonna? I'm gonna sit there and send an email that, and I'm never gonna get a response to. What are you gonna do with that? So we'll see. If nothing else, I'm going to file if I can't get a response back, from them. What I'm going to do is I'm going to just report them to the Better Business Bureau. Typically, companies will answer better when you have that problem. When people go through there, because they don't want it to ding them too bad. So I might do both. Let me know in the comments section down below. Am I being unreasonable with CBCS? I don't think so, especially not after 11 months. Silly me has continued to give them time and time again opportunities to redeem themselves, and they've failed miserably. With their current move to a new warehouse, who thinks that they're going to get better? So they have 2 magazines. They're taking magazine submissions, and they don't even have the cases finalized yet. They have one guy that's going to be pressing and grading the magazines. So they have 2 magazines of mine that have yet to even show up on the radar. And the reason why is because they don't want it to time out, because they made their promise to get books done through a certain time. That's bull crap. The way you just get around that is just not put them on the thing as for being received. So that's what they're doing with the magazine stuff. I have some other stuff that I have no doubt in my mind will hit a year mile marker based on their current submission. So I think what I'm fixing to do is go back to CGC. I think I'm going to go back to CGC. And if there's something, because I'll get stuff signed. I got stuff signed yesterday at the con I was at, and not get it graded right then. So, because I want to either spend my money at the con or get another person to sign it. So, for verification of signatures, I like them better than I do PGX. I like their cases better. Obviously, people have more respect, if you will, for their grade than they do PGX. So I'm going to go back to doing that, and I'm going back to CGC. Congratulations, CBCS. All the opportunities that CGC gave you to be a major player, and you have done largely nothing but flub the dub. Yeah, many a business have come and gone all because of that. So do appreciate anybody that's still watching this. Be sure to smash that like button if you haven't already. And until next time, keep reading, keep collecting. Adios.